Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Deanna and today we're going to talk about onions. So a lot of people get scared. They're like, oh, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to show you. First off, we're going to go over the types of onions. So this is a white onion. White onions are really good for chutneys, salsas, and to eat raw in salads. They can be cooked, but I wouldn't recommend it. They're better raw. Then you got this big chunker. This is a red onion or a purple onion. They go either way. And they're good raw as well. You can cook them, but it takes the really beautiful purple color and just makes it go gray and it doesn't look as good. But they're good on burgers and salads. Then you have green onions, which are also called spring onions, and they are good for garnishes. And pretty much that's it. They're good for garnishes and they add really good flavor to things. You also have Spanish onions or sweet onions. I don't have one of those. They're also called vidalias, which are a type of Spanish and sweet onion. They're good for frying and for caramelizing. And then you have leeks, which actually are a part of the onion family. They're good for soups, stews, and sauces, but you have to really make sure you clean those because they get sand in between the layers. And then you have this. This is our workhorse. She is good for everything. She is a yellow onion, and normally they're the cheapest onions as well. They can be about 40 to 60 cents a pound depending on where you go. And this onion, everything, frying, caramelizing, roasting, whatever have you, this is what you want. She's a good onion, she's a good gal. Now, I'm going to show you how to cut up onions. We're going to slice them. We are going to dice them, possibly mince them. And I'm only going to do it with the yellow onion because in the next video, I will teach you how to cook this onion. Okay, so as I said, this is a yellow onion. When you cut an onion, do not cut off this part. This is the root. This keeps the onion together as you're cutting it and makes it easier to hold everything. So you'll cut off this part, which is the top, and just in a fluid motion, there. Most people, when they use knives, they have the tendency of going chop, 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 because that's what they see on TV shows and things like that. Those people have had years of experience with cutting, and oftentimes they're moving so fast you don't realize they're actually moving in the smooth motion, because just going smooth like that saves your knife. Because if you're just going chop, 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 you're hitting it on the cutting board or whatever you're using, and it's dulling the blade. And a sharp knife is a safe knife. Dull knives you have to put more pressure down on, and that makes it easier that if you slip, you're just gonna cut your hand. And that's not good, that's not safe at all. So what you do is you cut your onion, and then you peel this outer skin right off. Sometimes it's stubborn, sometimes it's not. And don't worry about skin and roots getting in, because really, it all cooks off. It's all onion. But just try and get all of that to the side. Now, slicing an onion, you're supposed to hold your hand like this so you don't have your fingers going in it. So you just go, depending on how thick you want it, like that. And that is how you slice onions. Get really nice slices. You can also do it with getting onion rings and things like that. Now, these are really good for, I like these when I caramelize onions, just because I like the strands for burgers and steaks and stuff like that. But they're pretty good. And then for a large dice, just take your knife very carefully and slice into the onion, like so. Watch your fingers. Okay, and then now we're going to have a large dice. And that is how you do a large dice. These are good for caramelizing as well. I like to cook these and serve them on top of chicken, like roast them with the chicken. Like you can put a pan with a grated pan on top. Put these under and put the chicken on top, and when the chicken cooks, it drips onto the onion. It adds so much flavor. Now a small dice, we're going to turn this. We're going to give it a few more cuts into the onion to make it smaller. Also, waste not, want not when it comes to onions and food in general. So basically, you have small dice. And it is okay if it's not perfect. The only thing you want to worry about when it comes to cutting up things for different meals is that it's consistent. These are consistently roughly the same size. These are consistently roughly the same size, And that is really important to cooking because if you have different sizes, it doesn't cook at the same time. Basically, if we put this in with this, these are gonna get burnt before this ever caramelizes. And then it just ruins the whole thing. It makes it taste horrible. Now, I'm going to show you how to mince. This is a little more difficult, I will admit. However, if you really want a fine mince on your onion, say you want to make a sauce or something and it calls for minced onion, you just make it a lot smaller. And I will admit, sometimes even I forget to do my fingers curls like you're supposed to. Just make sure your fingers are out of the way of the blade. Last thing you want is to cut your finger. Believe you me, I have done it plenty of times. So basically, that is a mince. It's a very small chop in the onion. As you can see, here's mince, small dice, large dice, and a slice. And that is basically it with onions. You can use some equipment that I will go over in a later video and show you how to do it to cut without using a knife. Say you can't hold a knife very well. I will go over that in a later video. But thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.